नमस्कार सिक्किम क्रोनिकलमा यहाँहरू सबैलाई स्वागत छ। म पल राई र म अहिले गान्तोक स्थित STNM अस्पतालको परिसरमा उभिरहेको छु र यहाँहरूलाई जानकारी गराउन चाहन्छु कि सिक्किममा पहिलोपल्ट विगत केही दिनदेखि सिक्किमको STNM अस्पतालमा मेजर न्युरोसर्जरीहरू पर्फर्म भइरहेको छ। वेस्ट बेङ्गलबाट आएका स्पेसलिस्टहरूको देखरेखमा यो सर्जरी पर्फर्म भइरहेको छ भने लाइभ सर्जरी वर्कसप पनि यहाँनिर आयोजना गरिएको छ। विभिन्न डक्टर्सहरूले यसको प्रशिक्षणहरू पनि लिने क्रम जारी छ भने सिक्किमको स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्रमा विगतको वर्षहरूमा देखेको सुधारमा यस्तो न्युरो सर्जरी जुन सिक्किममा भइरहेको छ पहिलोपल्ट, यसले गर्दा स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्रमा नयाँ माइलखुट्टे गाड्ने सम्भावना पनि राखिएको छ। विशेष रिपोर्ट।
हजुर, नमस्कार, म डाक्टर प्रणव, म न्युरोसर्जन यता STNM हस्पिटलमा काम गर्दैछु। अस्ति फ्राइडेको दिन हामीले 3वटा अपरेसन्स गऱ्यौँ। हाम्रो सिनियर डक्टर्सहरू हामीलाई ट्रेनिङ गर्नुहुने डक्टर्सहरूलाई हामीले बोलाएर 3वटा मिनिमली इन्भेसिभ स्पाइन सर्जरी भन्छौँ हामी, त्यस्तो प्रकारको स्पाइन सर्जरी हामीले त्यति बेला गऱ्यौँ। तीनवटा, त्यो तीनैवटा एकदमै सक्सेसफुल भएर अहिले पेसेन्टहरू स्टेबल हुनुहुन्छ। आजको दिन चाहिँ एक्चुअली हामीले अलिक कम्प्लेक्स सर्जरी, अझै त्योभन्दा पनि अझै कम्प्लेक्स सर्जरी हामीले राखेको छौँ। यसमा चाहिँ कस्तो खालको बिमारीहरू भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ टाउको र स्पाइन जहाँनिर जङ्सन हुन्छ नि, त्यसलाई चाहिँ क्रेनियोभर्टेब्रल जङ्सन भन्छ। त्यहाँ जङ्सनको चाहिँ प्रब्लम्सहरू हुने पेसेन्टहरू चाहिँ लाई चाहिँ हामीले सेलेक्ट गरेर योपालि अपरेसन गर्नु लागिरहेको छौँ। यसमा चाहिँ एउटा चाहिँ ट्रमा केस छ, जहाँनिर चाहिँ पेसेन्ट लडेर यो मुन्टोको एउटा हड्डी चाहिँ फ्र्याक्चर भएर चाहिँ डिस्लोकेसन भइरहेको छ। अर्को पेसेन्टको चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि जन्मदेखि नै उहाँको हड्डीहरूमा केही डिफेक्ट भएर एट्लान्टो एक्सियल डिफेक्ट डिस्लोकेसन भन्ने एउटा प्रब्लम भएर चाहिँ उहाँको नसा स्पाइनल कर्ड दब्बिएर हातखुट्टामा प्यारालाइसिस जस्तो सेटिन हुँदैछ अब बिस्तारै है। सो त्यस्तो प्रकारको अपरेसन्सहरू हामीले आज गर्न लागेका छौँ। यस्तो खालको अपरेसन चाहिँ सजिलो हुँदैन है, त्यसको लागि एकदमै एक्सपिरियन्स चाहिन्छ। भेरी डिफिकल्ट केसेस हुन्छ, सुरुदेखि लास्टसम्म एकदम प्लानिङ, एकदम मेटिकुलेट प्लानिङ हुनुपर्छ। त्यसको लागि चाहिँ अलिकति एक्सपिरियन्स सर्जन्सहरू भएको युजली बेनिफिसियल हुन्छ क्या त हामीलाई। सो हामीले यस्तो प्रकारको सर्जरिज चाहिँ यहाँ सिक्किममा कहिले गरेको थिएनौँ र हाम्रो गुड फर्चुन चाहिँ के भनौँ भन्दाखेरि हाम्रो सिनियर्सहरू पनि अलिकति यही टाइममा फ्री हुनु भएकोले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीले उहाँहरूलाई बोलाएर यसरी हामीलाई गाइड गरेर यो सर्जरिजहरू गर्नु पोसिबल भएको छ। सो यस, डेफिनेटली यसको उद्देश्य नै त्यही हो। हामीले यस्तो प्रकारको सर्जरिज गर्नु थालौँ, त्यहाँदेखि अब एकपल्ट गरेपछि हामीलाई पनि धेरै आइडिया लाग्छ है, कन्फिडेन्स बढ्छ। सो यसरी हामीले बिस्तारै बिस्तारै केसेसहरू स्टार्ट गरेर अब कन्फिडेन्टली फर्दर फ्युचरमा पनि गर्नु सक्छौँ। हजुर, एक त अब पहिला त न्युरोसर्जन्स नै थिएनौँ हो, न्युरोसर्जन चाहिँ पहिला थिएनौँ हामी। 2020देखि चाहिँ फर्स्ट टाइम न्युरोसर्जन्सहरू म र डाक्टर रोशन आयौँ यहाँनिर। बट त्यति बेला इनिसियली हाम्रोमा यो स्टेट गभर्मेन्टमा हाम्रो इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट्सहरू केही पनि थिएन। सो बिस्तारै बिस्तारै अब इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट्सहरू हामीले लिएर आयौँ, अलिकति हाम्रो पनि एक्सपिरियन्स बढ्दै गयो, हाम्रो स्टाफहरूको एक्सपिरियन्स बढ्दै गयो। एकैचोटि यसरी केसेसहरू गर्दाखेरि नि कोही बेला कुनै कारणले गर्दा बिचमा केही कम्प्लिकेसन्स उठ्यो भने म्यानेज गर्नु एकदमै डिफिकल्ट हुन्छ। सो हामीलाई हाम्रो स्टाफको ट्रेनिङ, हाम्रो पनि ट्रेनिङ हुनु जरुरी छ। सो हाम्रो अब यो 3 वर्ष बित्न लाग्यो, त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हाम्रो पनि अब एक्सपिरियन्स, हाम्रो स्टाफहरूको एक्सपिरियन्स एउटा सर्टन लेभल पुगिसक्यो। सो अब अलिकति हामीले नेक्स्ट कदम उठाउनु पर्यो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति डिफिकल्ट केस अझै हामीले योपालि लिएको छौँ। सो यसरी नै स्टेप बाई स्टेप एभ्री इयर हामीले केही न केही नयाँ गर्ने हाम्रो प्लान गरेको छौँ। अब नेक्स्ट 5 इयर्समा चाहिँ हामीले ज्यादा से ज्यादा जतिवटा पनि न्युरोको एटलिस्ट जतिवटा पनि हामीले प्रोसिजर्सहरू बाहिरतिर हुन्छ या पोसिबल हुन्छ, यहाँ हुँदैन थियो, त्यो चाहिँ अब हामीले यहाँनिर स्टेटमा हामीले प्रोभाइड गर्नु सक्ने हाम्रो एउटा प्लान छ।
सो रिसेन्ट फ्यु इयर्समा सिक्किमको स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्रमा धेरै सुधार देखिएको छ है। यस्तो खालको सर्जरी सिक्किममा हुन थालेपछि चाहिँ सिक्किमको स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ कतिको एउटा माइलस्टोन चाहिँ देख्नुहुन्छ तपाईँले?
डेफिनेटली अब अहिले त सिक्किममा एसटिएनएममा स्पेसली हामी 9जना जस्तो सुपर स्पेसलिस्ट 9-10जना त सुपर स्पेसलिस्टहरू आइसक्यौँ। पहिला अब त हामीले प्लान के गर्दैछौँ भन्दाखेरि किडनी ट्रान्सप्लान्टकोसम्म पनि प्लानिङहरू हामीले गर्दैछौँ। अब पछि नियर फ्युचरमा आउने 1-2 सालमा मेबी हामीले किडनी ट्रान्सप्लान्ट पनि गर्नु सक्छौँ है। अब डायलाइसिसहरू त पहिल्यैदेखि नै हुँदैछ। ग्यास्ट्रोमा पनि धेरै प्रकारको प्रोसिजर्सहरू हुन थाल्यो। पिडियाट्रिक सर्जन हुनुहुन्छ, नानीहरूको एकदम भर्खरै जन्मेको नानीहरूको अपरेसन एकदमै कम्प्लेक्स हुन्छ। लो बर्थ वेटमा जन्मेको हो, प्रिटर्म डेलिभरी भएको नानीहरूको पहिला सर्जरी हुँदैन थियो, त्योहरू हुनु थालेको छ। प्लास्टिक सर्जरीमा कति प्रोग्रेस हुँदैछ है। अन्को सर्जन्सहरू पनि आउनु भएको छ, उहाँले पहिला क्यान्सरको ट्रिटमेन्ट बाहिर हुन्थ्यो, अहिले यतै हुनु थालेको छ। सो डेफिनेटली यो स्टेप बाई स्टेप इच एन्ड एभ्री डिपार्टमेन्ट एक तरहले हाम्रो बिचमा पनि एउटा कम्पिटिसन जस्तो पनि छ, एउटा हेल्दी कम्पिटिसन। कसैले के गर्यो भने हामीलाई पनि उत्साह हुन्छ है केही गर्ने। हो त्यसरी वी ड्राइभ इच अदर है। अस्ति अब प्लास्टिक सर्जरीले यत्रो ठुलो क्याम्प गर्नुभयो, सुन्नुभयो होला तपाईँले, त्यो क्लेफ्ट लिपको स्माइल इन्डियाको क्याम्प गर्नुभयो। त्यसमा नियरली 50-60 पेसेन्ट्सहरूको फ्रीमा क्लेफ्ट प्यालेटको सर्जरीहरू भयो। त्यसरी नै गल ब्ल्याडर सर्जरीको ल्याप्रोस्कोपिकली कति अलमोस्ट 100+ को सर्जरी भयो इन 3 क्याम्प्स हो। त्यसरी अब डेभलपमेन्ट डेफिनेटली हुँदैछ। यसरी चाहिँ हाम्रो आफ्नै यङ्स्टर्सहरू जो पढ्दै हुनुहुन्छ उनीहरूलाई पनि एउटा उत्साह हुन्छ है, इच्छा जाग्छ कि ओके पहिला त एमबिबिएस सकेपछि कोही पनि फर्किनु मन गर्दैन थियो। हामीलाई पनि धेरैजना आफ्नै मान्छेहरू पनि साथीभाइहरूले पनि भन्नुहुन्थ्यो सिक्किम फर्केर केही छैन, तपाईँहरूको लागि करियर वाइज केही छैन भन्नुहुन्थ्यो। तर अब यस्तो इभेन्ट्सहरू भएकोले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीले पनि यस्तो इभेन्ट्सहरू गरेर देखाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ जुनियर्सहरूलाई पनि अलिकति इन्करेजमेन्ट पाउँछ, सो द्याट फ्युचर जेनेरेसन्सले पनि अलिकति होप एन्ड मेबी इन्करेजमेन्ट पाएर चाहिँ मेबी सिक्किम फर्किने इच्छा गर्छ कि भन्ने अब हाम्रो लङ टर्म प्लान चाहिँ त्यही हो।
सिक्किमको जुन पेसेन्ट्सहरू छ यो न्युरोलाई लिएर कति छ जस्तो लाग्छ सिक्किममा कि योभन्दा अझ कति तपाईँहरूसँग आउँथ्यो पनि जस्तो केसेसहरू?
सिक्किममा त केसेस एकदमै ज्यादा छ एक्चुअली। पहिलो कुरा त अब सिलगढी जाने एउटा जुन चाहिँ त्यो दस्तुर छ हाम्रो मान्छेहरूको सबै चिजको लागि, त्यो चाहिँ अझै पनि धेरै नै प्रेभलेन्ट छ। सबैजनालाई नै अब एउटा सिलगढी लगेर ट्रिटमेन्ट गऱ्यो भने राम्रो हुन्छ भन्ने त्यो सोच छ भनौँ न है। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ थुप्रो जस्तो पेसेन्टहरू यहाँ हामीलाई नदेखाइकन सिलगढीहरू जानुहुन्छ। तर अब यसरी हामीले पब्लिकलाई पनि यसरी हामीले प्रोजेक्ट गरेर सक्सेसफुल सर्जरिज कम्प्लेक्स सर्जरिजहरू यहाँ हुनसक्छ भनेर भन्यो भने त उनीहरूलाई पनि अलिकति एउटा विश्वास भन्ने जाग्नु सक्छ है। सो त्यो पनि एउटा हाम्रो एम थियो।
जुन यो हुँदैछ है यो सर्जरी यसमा अलिकति के त लिमिटेसन्सहरू छ कि?
लिमिटेसन्सहरू हेर्नुहोस् एक्सपर्टिज वाइज त अब केही लिमिटेसन्स रहेन, किनभने अहिले इन्डियाको वान अफ द टप न्युरोसर्जन्स डाक्टर सन्दीप च्याटर्जी उहाँ आउनु भएको छ। उहाँ त इन्टरनेसनल फ्याकल्टी हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँ युकेतिर गएर युएसतिर गएर जापान सब जग्गा जानुहुन्छ। अस्ति भर्खर पनि बङ्गलादेश भएर आउनु भएको उहाँ। सो उहाँको लेक्चर्सहरू सुन्नु त हामी जस्तो ट्रेनी न्युरोसर्जन्सहरू त हजारौँमा हुनुहुन्छ उहाँको लेक्चर्सहरू सुन्ने। सो उहाँ त एक्सपर्टिजको वाइज त आजको एटलिस्ट आजको दिनमा त केही सर्टकमिङ्स छैन। सबै इक्विपमेन्टहरू हाम्रोमा पनि अहिले यो सर्जरी गर्नुको लागि चाहिँ छ। यस अब अरू पनि डिफ्रेन्ट टाइप्स अफ सर्जरिजहरू हुन्छ न्युरोमा, कतिवटा सामानहरू हाम्रोमा अझै छैनौँ, बट स्टेट गभर्मेन्टले हामीलाई प्रमिस गर्नुभएको छ है कि कमिङ 1 or 2 इयर्समा धेरै नै उहाँहरूले सपोर्ट दिएर यस्तो इक्विपमेन्ट्सहरू प्रोक्योर गर्नेछौँ हामी है। सो त्यो सब भएपछि त डेफिनेटली हाम्रो पनि कन्फिडेन्स बढ्दै जान्छ। सो यो सब भएको कारण नै त्यही हो। अब माथि हेल्थ गभर्मेन्टबाट चाहिँ हाम्रो धेरै नै सपोर्ट पाउँदैछौँ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि यस्तो इभेन्ट्सहरू हामीले अलिक कन्फिडेन्टली गर्न सक्दैछौँ। जेनरल सिटिजन्स अफ सिक्किमलाई मेरो त्यही नै एउटा भन्नु छ कि द्याट हामी स्टेट गभर्मेन्टमा बसेर वी आर हियर टु सर्भ यु है। हाम्रो फर्स्ट एन्ड फरमोस्ट एम एन्ड आवर अब्जेक्टिभ इज टु सर्भ यु। सो यस डेफिनेटली हाम्रोमा अझै पनि यत्रो यो सब गरेर पनि कतिवटा सर्टकमिङ्स हुन्छ किनभने एसटिएनएम क्यानट बी स्टिल कम्पेयर टु अ प्लेस लाइक एम्स है अपोलो हस्पिटल जस्तो जहाँनिर चाहिँ हजारौँ करोडको इक्विपमेन्ट्सहरू डक्टर्सहरू हुनुहुन्छ त्यस्तो वी कान्ट स्टिल कम्पेयर बट हामी ग्रो गर्दैछौँ इच एन्ड एभ्री डे हाम्रो ग्रोथ हुँदैछ डक्टर्सहरू आउनु हुँदैछ रिसेन्टली नेफ्रोलोजिस्ट पनि आउनुभयो हाम्रोमा सो त्यसरी हाम्रो ग्रोथ हुँदैछ सो हामीलाई तपाईँहरूले ट्रस्ट गरिदिनु भयो भने चाहिँ मेबी वी क्यान सर्भ यु बेटर है हामीले यहाँ नगर्नु सकेको चिजहरू पनि यदि हामीले तपाईँलाई यहाँ हामीले अपरेसन गरेर या ट्रिटमेन्ट हामीले त्यस्तो नगर्नु सके पनि एटलिस्ट तपाईँहरूलाई हामीले गाइड गरिदिन सक्छौँ कता गएर गरेको राम्रो हुन्छ कस्ट कति हुन्छ है यसको प्रोग्नोसिस मतलब यसको रिजल्ट कस्तो हुन्छ के हुन्छ त्यस्तोहरू हामीले एटलिस्ट गाइड गरिदिन सक्छौँ सो डेफिनेटली हाम्रोमा आएर तपाईँहरूले तपाईँको जे पनि डाउट्सहरू हुनुहुन्छ देखाउन सक्नुहुन्छ रिपोर्ट्सहरू के हुन्छ हामी हेरेर वी क्यान कन्सल्ट यु एन्ड गिभ यु द बेस्ट सजेसन्स
Okay, so this department senior doctors, Dr. Pranav and Dr. Roshan have organized one CME and workshop, and we are senior doctors who have come from Calcutta and Delhi NCR, Noida. Myself, I am Dr. Rohan Sinha. I am working as additional director in JP Hospital, Noida, and Dr. Pradhan and Dr. Sandeep Chatterjee, they have come from Calcutta. So we are performing spine surgeries. Yesterday we performed 3 spine surgery, and 2 of the patients were disc, that is prolapse intervertebral disc, and discectomy was done. That is a procedure to remove the disc and make the patient pain free. The second and first operations were disc. The third operation which I did was a fracture at vertebra L1, and we did a procedure which is called minimally invasive procedure. It's not an open procedure, it's a new technique in which we don't give a bigger cut with small incisions, small cuts. We put the screws and rods and fix those fracture segment. The patient is doing fine. All the 3 patients of yesterday are doing fine. We met them in ward. They all are improved after their surgery. Today we are doing 2 spine patients of cervical region, and one of them is a fracture. The another is a congenital, that means by birth. So correction is done, and the other one, fracture, fixation will be done.
So since this is the first of its kind of the surgery happening in Sikkim, will these surgeries will be continued in future also so in this hospital?
That is what is our aim, that this place starts developing and people do all the important and bigger cases here also. I have worked in Sikkim, Manipal for 3 years from 2013, 14 and 15, and we all feel that there are patients here who may not be able to go to other places and they need to be operated here. So that is our motto, to help this place develop so that all the surgeries can be done. And Dr. Pranav and Dr. Roshan are very enthusiastic, very energetic to start this department very nicely.
So since Sikkim has seen major these milestones in the field of health and health sector, so do you consider this as another milestone for health sector in Sikkim?
Yes, definitely it is a milestone, because Department of Neurosurgery under government is the first department here now. Previously it was being done in Sikkim, Manipal, and the neurosurgery has lot many cases from small to complex, and operating a complex tumor is definitely a milestone in such a remote place.
So how beneficial can it be to the people of Sikkim, sir?
It can be definitely beneficial, because neuro patients of spine and brain, they have weakness in the body and they cannot travel far away. And some of the patients have injury and fractures of the spine and brain injuries, and traveling for them is very difficult. So it will be beneficial for those patients who can get operated here without going outside, and worsening of their symptoms will be prevented.
So do you find any limitations here in Sikkim regarding these particular things, sir?
Definitely limitations are there, and any place which starts have limitations, but over the period it will definitely improve.
Yeah, so today we're doing 2 complex surgeries. Both involve the junction of the brain and the spine. Fundamentally, all neurosurgery is complex, but this is one of the most complex areas to operate on. So the first one we're doing is a lady who's got a problem which is, in fact, she's been born with, but which has deteriorated with time. So now it is pressing on her spinal cord and her brain and producing weakness in her limbs, stopping her from doing her normal work and walking. So this involves a little complex operation of relieving the pressure, which is at the junction of the brain and spinal cord. And we have to put in screws to fix the bone so it doesn't move anymore. So the idea of this is that she can go back to normal life and that she doesn't develop the weakness that she is developing at the present time. And the second patient is a patient also who's got an injury and has got a fracture in the upper part of the neck. And this bone in the neck has moved forward and is pressing on the spinal cord. So we have to get it back and fix it with some modality. In this case, we would fix it with certain plates and screws. This is also a complex procedure. So these are the two that are being done today.
So since Sikkim Hospital has been seeing a few milestones in the field of health sector, so do you consider this also as a milestone for the health sector in Sikkim, sir?
I don't know about the health sector in Sikkim, but I can tell you it is a milestone in neurosurgery. Because, brain and spine surgery are very important components of healthcare in this country. As most of us are conscious about other things like heart attacks and strokes, one person in this country dies of a heart attack every 20 minutes. And one person in this country dies of a stroke every 35 minutes. But one person dies of a road accident or injury, most of which is brain injury, often with a spine injury. And this happens, one person in India dies every 8 minutes. So in fact, trauma or injury to the brain and the spine causes more death and disabilities than either heart attacks or brain strokes in this country, by far. And therefore, neurosurgical setup in a place like this, particularly, should have enough facilities to deal at least with people who have injuries to their brain and spinal cord. Remember, these are young people who are otherwise capable of leading a normal life, who have a sudden injury. And I think it is the duty of society to try and have facilities to get them treated. And you need to do it here. These are not patients you can bundle into an ambulance and send them to different parts of the country for treatment. So I think the milestone is that you're developing a neurosurgery department, not the operation, and not who has come from where to do the operation, but the fact that you're recognizing the need and necessity to develop a neurosurgical service here in Sikkim. And I think that is a very important milestone.
So since you are here in STNM, did you find any limitations or so regarding the particular departments?
There are limitations in every department in the world, and believe me, I've worked in all 5 continents in this world. You have to do with the limitations. First of all, you have to perform what is available within the limitations, and secondly, you have to look beyond and get more so that you move beyond the limitations. Of course, there are limitations. There are limitations everywhere. Don't think there are limitations in this hospital in Gangtok and there are no limitations if you go to a hospital in North America. There are limitations everywhere, but you have to do it with the limitations.
So finally, since you are in this field for many times, a very long time, so do you have any experience to share with us?
I don't know what sort of experience that I could...
Regarding the thing that you do, the patients that you treat, so any experience?
Well, there are so many experiences. I think it would be difficult to share one or two with you as such. But, I think the most rewarding thing about neurosurgery is this. Number one is that the people you're dealing with could be the sole breadwinner of the family. And quite often, a simple neurosurgical procedure which follows a simple neurosurgical investigation like a scan, a CT scan or an MRI scan, which is also necessary. And it's also necessary to have these available 24 hours a day. A simple scan followed by a fairly simple surgery can change completely the scenario as far as not only the patient is concerned, but the family is concerned. This morning, I have seen a baby that came to this hospital, I think, about a month and a half ago, in a state where the baby was not expected to live, and the baby was just scarcely able to breathe and do nothing else. No brain function at all because of a hemorrhage in the brain. And Dr. Roshan Tamang, who's one of your neurosurgeons here, actually sent me these pictures and asked me, should he intervene? And we suggested that yes, he should, even though the baby's condition was so poor, and that the surgery required wasn't very complex or rocket science surgery, fairly simple, but he should go ahead and do it, explaining the risk to the family. And though he had not done this before in this hospital, he did go and do it, mainly on my telephonic advice. And I am happy to tell you, I saw this baby today. The baby is doing so well that it was a great pleasure to see the baby like this. So these are events that happen all the time. I'm just choosing one from this morning from a surgery done in this hospital by one of your own neurosurgeons.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say that I'm the son of the soil. I'm from Namthang and I did my MCH from Sri Chitra, Kerala. Thereafter, I've been working in Calcutta for the last 9 years. So today, I'm this time on the invitation of Dr. Pranav and Dr. Roshan. I've come here and to help them out, to set up a better department, to bring about new technology and to teach them what we have learned throughout all these years. So on Saturday we did 3 cases. Those were minimal invasive surgeries. Those were all spine, in which we used very small incision without any stitches to remove the disc and to stabilize the spine. And today again, as one of our senior doctors have mentioned, it's a complex surgery of the spine belonging to the CVG, that is somewhere at this area. It's very difficult in terms of the navigation and the kind of instruments, the kind of setup we use out here, so that we are going to teach the facility, the people out here, not only the doctors, even the technicians and all, how to be aware of this, how to assist the doctors and the anesthetists to be doing such complex cases.
So since this is the first of its kind surgery happening in Sikkim, will this be continued in future also?
Of course, as I told you, I'll be coming again and again if they call me. And apart of this time we did something called minimal invasive surgery. So next time I was proposing that why don't you start with endoscopic surgery, that is surgery through the nasal cavity, go into the skull base and remove the tumors and all. So my plan is if they agree, the next the CME would be on something like endoscopic surgery. So this way every year we'll be bringing about new dimensions to the department and let the department grow in Sikkim.
Do you consider this a milestone in the health sector?
Of course. See, from having no neurosurgeons in STNM, we have 2 neurosurgeons very qualified out here. And to start a department, it's very difficult in the initial phases. So they need help. And we are there to help, And they're doing a very good job, almost 300 cases. 300 cases, just imagine, 300 cases going outside of Sikkim and spending so much money and some coming with some optimal results. I see, this is what they have achieved, their dedication, their willingness to come back to Sikkim and serve. So this is a big milestone, yes.
So how beneficial can it be to the people of Sikkim, especially people suffering from this kind of complications?
Pardon, I get it?
So how beneficial can it be for the people of Sikkim?
As I told you, see, neurosurgery is not only it's about the timing also. Most of the neurosurgical cases, be it trauma, be it tumor cases and all, need immediate attention, They cannot wait for 1 week or 2 weeks and go to Delhi, Bangalore, Calcutta and somewhere else. That has to be operated within maybe within an hour or within minutes to save life. So there comes the importance of in-house neurosurgeons and the facility in-house in the state of Sikkim. So this is a big thing. It's not like the growth of neurosurgery in STNM is the must of the hour. It's for the state of Sikkim.
So since this surgery is happening in Gangtok, so can this be replicated in all the hospitals of the state?
See, right now in other districts, it's very difficult to say because you need manpower. Not only the doctors, you need the other assistant also, and you need a proper setup. See, there are many things lacking in the department, though they have, gotten some. There's something like high-end microscope that I think the government should be able to provide to them so that they can replicate and give very good results, at par with any other centers in India or the world.
र यस्तै अन्य खबरको लागि हेर्दै गर्नुहोस् सिक्किम क्रोनिकल।